Hey everyone, it's Maria here at A1 Tool, and hey, wow, it's Wednesday, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited because we have a new tool reveal, not only one, but two tools today we want to tell you about. They are on our website right now at pdrtool.com. That's pdrtool.com, or download your app, get that app going, because when you look under new products, you're going to see it right there in spot 1 and 2. And I'm going to have John tell you all about it and bring on a very special guest. So, John, let me add you to the stream here.
All right. Thank you, Maria. As you said, we do have two new items that we're wanting to introduce today. These are coming to you from Matt Boyette, Dent Slayer. He's really got a unique mind, things that he's thinking about and developing, and we're happy to partner with him. Not only does he have good products, but he's just a tremendous guy. And we're going to get him in there right now and let him tell you about these two new deals. Hey, Matt.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me
Great.
on.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
All right.
Well, what do we got?
So we got a couple things. One, let me just go ahead and show this one. This is the Lowepro Tip. This is just a really small, low-profile tip that accepts the R4. So I needed a tip that just would get in a door or a really tight spot. I use it on my flat bars a lot to be able to get in just either down a door like a window or just in a really tight opening like top of a fender or something. And John and Maria obliged me by making one of these, and just thought it was a very useful thing to add to the arsenal. I don't believe there's another one like it. I know we've been developing this for the last 3 months or so, working on it and trying to get it really small. And it seems to be just a really good addition to add to your set. So it fits all, obviously the same thread sizes as all your other stuff, but it just drops it down to where when it's on your tool, only the red cherry tip is showing. So just gets the height way down. So I think it's really good to add to your kit.
Yeah, I think maybe when you were working in our booth at MTE, we were looking at your cart and thumbing through it, and we say, "Hey, what's this tip?" And it was something that I think that you'd made homemade, and said, "Hey, there's really a demand for this." And I think several people tried to buy it from you down there that saw it as well. And so anyway, we've now got it, and like you said, it's got a really low profile. I got a little flat bar here. So where access is critical, that low profile is going to get you in places where any other interchangeable tip just couldn't do it. So I think it's a great idea. Yeah. And that is $20, I believe, and that's stainless steel. Like you said, it accepts that R4 cherry cap. Right there on our new products or under the Dent Slayer products. So yeah, I think that's a great one. What else you got for us, Matt?
So the other one is the Tool Stool. So we got kind of creative with the name. It's a really unique product that requires a unique name, and so we were able to come up with this. But this is a tool leverage device. It's got lots of applications. I'll try to work through some of them kind of quickly. But it kind of started out as this. Basically, it sits on like a tabletop hood stand, and your tool rests in there. It's got a little V-notch here that accepts whatever tool diameter, and you're going to set it up on your hood stand, and you can change the height. It's got adjustable, pins where you can put it whatever height you want, and it has some fine adjustment here as a screw that you can get it really fine and lock it down. And then what you do is you can position it wherever your dent may be on the hood and on your hood stand. You can set this up to really maximize your leverage to where you're not limited by a ring or something that's fixed to the hood stand, where this, you can go in there and you can put the leverage right where you need it to go in relation to your tool to maximize, and you're not having to use a 4-foot rod now to push out a dent on a hood. You can use something smaller like a Dent Slayer that goes right in, and you can get tremendous leverage by utilizing this, and you can position it anywhere on your hood stand, just moving it around. And I think a major bonus is you're not destroying the bottom of the hoods by, the hoods now, a lot of them are aluminum. You put an S-hook in and you're prying too hard and you're ripping holes and you're destroying the bottom. This doesn't touch, it leaves the bottom of the hood unaffected other than just your pushing surface. It won't manipulate the bottom of the hood at all. Sometimes the hoods have large openings or cavities that you can get access into, but you destroy the hood in the process, or those cavities. And so like where the left and right, you can put this way up close to that cavity and you can pry off of this instead of prying on the bottom of that hood. And so it's just a really good thing to have. This tip comes off, and underneath it, it accepts all your normal favorite tips. And what I like to do also is you can use kind of a blunt tip like this. And I don't have one here, but if you got fuel doors, it's my wallet, but if you got fuel doors, you can set it up and you bring the part down to the tool and you can push them out that way. Or even some roof moldings. I fix a lot of roof moldings that maybe get damaged, and you can bring the part down onto the tool and repair the dents or the damage in those parts that way. So it accepts any tip you want. There's another tip that I don't have with me, but John has. He could probably show, and it's just a flat square. There you go. And what you would do with that is, let's just say you've got a large dent on hidden by a brace on the hood, and you're pushing with a whale tail, but the brace is flopping out. You can bring this right up to that brace and support the brace with that tip on here that John is showing, and it keeps that brace from flopping down, so you can really maximize your leverage on that hood. And again, it keeps you from destroying the bottom of that hood. Which is pretty crucial nowadays. So that's that part of it, is just using it as a leverage device to save the bottom of the hood from being destroyed. While we had it, we were looking at the bottom of here and trying to figure out other uses for what we could do with it. And so one thing that's really useful is maybe it's in a like a truck bedside, like below the taillight pocket where it gets really open. You can wedge this in here, and we've made these little divots, as you can see, that can accept your tool and go in there and can push it out. Or even, I know, like another example is some of the Porsche headlights. When you take a Porsche headlight out, it gives this very large opening, and there's nothing to pry off of. And guys get 4x4s or 2x4s and stick in there. Well, now you can get this, and you can lay it in there in various ways, and you can pry off of this, and it just gives you another usability factor of that. While we were doing that, one thing that we decided to do is if you pull the pin out, you can take this top piece off, and all these. So these holes would be holes you would utilize your tool in, but there's some smaller holes here in each corner. And those are 5/16, 18. And you can get just some random bolts, and you can put it in here, and you can fasten it to structure on the car that exists already, and you can use it as a leverage device that way. So maybe you got, again, ample access, but you don't have any leverage. You can put this in there and hang it and utilize it in different ways, just to be able to gain access, to gain leverage in a place that has too big of access. So you got some options here for how you want to hang it or bolt it up, and what you can utilize the holes for leverage. So, and then the bonus of that is when you're not using whatever extra tips you might have, they can just store right here on it, and just stay right there on your hood stand or with the device. So
wow. Matt, there you go. I find this mind-blowing. It's like you just keep sharing one more thing you can use this tool for. It's so versatile. That is awesome.
I've got another thing. It's a little, it works for roofs too. So there's, let's just say you've got a roof that has a brace that you're trying to work, and you're using a whale tail and the brace is falling down, and you can't push it with a normal rod because the brace is in the way. So you're trying to overcome leverage and access. So what I've done with this is I've put my hatch hanger, whatever hatch hanger you want, you can strap that underneath the brace, and then you can put this upside down on your hatch hanger, and this will tighten up against that brace, and it'll give you way more ability to work that dent without the brace collapsing. You can maximize your tool twisting with your whale tail or whatever you want to put in there. But lots of ways to use it. I mean, it's a very versatile tool. We try to make it something to where if you're a traveling hill guy, where you have this and you get a lot of juice out of the squeeze. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot here that you can work with and utilize in order to make it something that really just should stay on your kit with you. And it breaks down and folds down, and it can store in, your gun case or whatever, and travel with you. And minimal real estate, but whatever real estate is here, we try to maximize so you can use it in various ways in order to be a really good tool to have on the road. So
that is awesome. Good job, you guys. I'm amazed. You guys, like Matt, you're like MacGyver. You've got a fix for any condition. You can get in there and get it done.
Well, I mean, necessity is the mother of invention. And that's all I can say is that this came out of necessity. When you're on the road and you have limited tools with you, and you've got to generate leverage, you've got to get the dents out, you've got to get the cars fixed, you have to get creative. And this just comes from being creative on the road traveling and coming up with something that kind of meets all those. Again, it's designed primarily as this leverage device, but again, I think it works well in these other arenas too, where I was telling you, where it's another tool that you can utilize, depending upon obviously the dynamics of the car, but it just gives you options that you can go in there and use this tool in multiple ways. And it just kind of limits what you have to have with you, or, when you're traveling, you can't have everything on your website with you, like you got to have limited stuff, and you got to pick what that is. And so this just gives you something that you can have multiple options for, I believe.
Wow. Yeah. I was like counting like 6, like already I'm like, there's like 6 different options that I don't, pay attention to every single thing. So
yeah,
I'm sure I missed a couple, but that's awesome. That is,
and I'm sure I'm optimistic that when it gets in guys' hands, they'll develop other uses for it too. I mean, that's kind of what I expect out of this. Is it's not.
Matt, I can't hear. John, can you hear him?
I can hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear Matt.
Okay. Yeah. Matt, can you hear us?
Maybe he'll rejoin us here in just a second. Let me tell you a little bit about the tool. It's made of high quality material. It's aircraft quality aluminum. It only weighs about 1 pound. It extends from about 10 inches at its base up to about 18 inches. It comes with this V-tip. Also, that flat tip that we were talking about, that's a part of the package. And the Tool Stool is being introduced at a price of $199. And I think it's a lot of value. Matt's design, when he first talked to me about it, it was about this fulcrum device to be used on those tables of hood stands that would accommodate that. And I thought, yeah, that's a great idea. And then he just kept adding things. And like you said, it's a really multifunction tool. So I think it's a great addition to anybody out there that is pushing dents. There you go. $199, the Tool Stool. Matt, you're back with us.
Yes, I'm back. we get these crazy afternoon storms here in Florida, and so my signal's going in and out. It's pouring rain as we speak. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've pretty well covered it. Is there anything else you want to share or need to say about the Tool Stool or the low profile tip?
I think I pretty much covered it, but I'm anxious to see how the market receives it and see what guys can come up with it and ways that they can use it. It's one of those things that I think once you have it, it'll kind of stay by your side, and you'll kind of find different ways you can utilize it. That's kind of my hopes. But using it on a hood stand, if you're a traveling hill guy, I think this is a necessity. I know I know it was for me. So I think it'll permanently be with your hood stand at all times. Again, if you have the tabletop version.
Right, right. So pdrtool.com, you can look under new items. You can see the Tool Stool. You can also see the low profile tip, or under the Dent Slayer tab, you can find these things. Yeah, Matt, great for being here. Thanks for being patient with us as we developed that. I think we did pretty well with it. Maria, I'm gonna.
You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head as far as where we started with the prototype and what's ahead of us right here. I think it's perfect. So
good. All right. Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you all.
All right. Have a good day.
All right.
See you guys. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Maria.